On this edition of In the Gun, it's time for another episode of every Mountaineer's favorite trivia show, Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer? Who's going to take the belt this time? Find out this edition of ITG.
Let's go!
You are now watching Believe. Do you believe?
Go single! Thomas nuts! Nuts!
ITG.
With Wes, Owen, and Jed.
And we're the three best friends that anybody can have.
I mean, my initials are WVU. I've been a WVU fan my whole life.
They shouldn't have played the old Golden Blue. Not this night!
Owen Schmidt, like a runaway beer truck down the sidelines.
Now joined by Jed Drenning, West Virginia sideline reporter.
Are you ready? Are you ready for some football? You want the noise brought on you? Because here it comes.
You're in the right place. You are In the Gun.
In the Gun, episode
Join to this
169 of your
Okay,
new
now.
favorite WVU football podcast. I'm Wesley Euler. I've got the best teammates in the business, as always. The runaway beer truck. Down the sideline, Owen Schmidt, the signal caller Jed Drenning. And joining us for this edition of ITG, another episode of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer, our friend, your friend, handsome, tubby, man of gold, Sean Big Daddy Mariner.
Hi, always a bridesmaid, never a bride on this show. How are you folks? Wonderful to be back.
Listen, he says this like he hasn't been on this show, he hasn't been on this program more than anybody not named Phil Steele.
Jed, did you want to
We're
talk?
talking before we tape.
Do you want to talk to everyone here
Go
through
ahead.
how I'm here this evening?
Well, I will. Let's start with this. Before we tape, we were counting the episodes of Seinfeld. There were 180. Newman was in 48 of them. That's 27% we checked. So is Big Daddy our Newman? And he educated us, saying that was my nickname in high
I
school.
like it. I
Of
like
course
it.
it
That
is, and I'm
works.
absolutely your Newman.
27% of the
But-
time, he's here every time.
But we tried initially to get Schuyler. Schuyler, previously occupied. He had other obligations tonight. Then we tried to get Adam Crowley, Pittsburgh celebrity Adam Crowley, as demonstrated by the fact he wasn't available because he's in a celebrity softball game. Then we tried to get our Husky Coco. Then we tried to get our half Husky Peppa. And when none of that worked, I texted Big Daddy, and Big Daddy's first response to me was, "Who bailed on you?"
Not knowing, and he said it was only Crowley. That was it. He didn't tell me that there were two others along the path that I'm number 5.
Oh, fantastic.
So without further ado,
Happy to be here.
so we understand, Big Daddy, that you saw the Phil Brady episode
Yes.
and you had some reactions.
First of all, can we cater all the questions to me since I'm the 5th round pick?
But wait, hold on though.
Like we
What
did
are-
for
but
Phil,
like-
apparently.
Like what are the Big Daddy questions?
Well,
Right?
here's
Like
the
what
thing.
would
I
they
was
be
thinking about
sending
this,
around?
too. I was thinking
Star
about this.
Wars?
Too. Obviously, I have zero
Star
athletic
Wars?
accomplishments, but even in the episode I was on with John, Jed asked a true false about Grant Wiley being in a movie. We can't do movie trivia for your fat movie nerd buddy. Like we
Yeah,
can't,
there you go.
Pop
Other
culture
than
would be the Big Daddy questions, right? Like
we can't do
21st
what movie?
like
what movie
21st
did Sean
century
try
pop
to-
culture.
What movie did
Yeah.
I try to glean my
Watch
entire
this.
broadcasting career off of in college? 2003's Anchorman.
Earlier in the episode, we mentioned Chewbacca. Big Daddy, Chewbacca's home planet.
Yeah, Kishik, please.
You mean
Thank you.
last
Thank
you
you.
mean
No, I knew
last
he'd know.
episode, but yes.
I know. Oh, last episode.
You know how
Last
I
episode.
remember that? Ironically enough, like I know that but the way that I remember it is South Park. This is Chewbacca. He is a Wookiee. He is from the planet Kishik. This does not make sense.
Cheek. Perfect. All right, so
we're gonna do acolyte
Big Daddy and
trivia.
I could bore you
Acolyte
for
trivia
hours.
the rest of the way here. Yeah.
I haven't started it yet.
Oh,
I wait
boy.
for all my episodes to drop so I can just pound through.
Same. In fact, well, this will be a few days until this drops, but as we record this, I think I'm gonna start when we're done here. But that is
So I'm glad
For
you
a
brought
different time.
all this up, asking for specialized questions, because as
yeah,
you
we
noted,
should let everybody
with-
pick some categories, you know?
I know.
Like for
Yeah.
me, it would be the Grateful Dead, all right? Toss in 1 or 2 Grateful Dead questions and I'll be rolling.
bad idea.
R.I.P. Bill Walton.
So last week with Phil Brady, I did kind of feel bad for the rest of the crew, because I was basically asking, all right, Phil, what's Phil Brady's neighbor's name? You know,
What's
So I
Phil
was
Brady's
asking
social
questions like that.
security number?
Yeah.
The
So
speed at which
tonight-
he was texting you was just like, dude, I thought it was Wofford. I'm like, yeah, we didn't play JM yet. And then, like, come on.
I didn't. Yeah, come on. Jed,
Well,
real
tonight,
quick.
for those of you listening and watching,
These are all
also
Adam Crowley
especially
episodes. These are all Adam
episode.
questions.
It's Adam Crowley. It's the runaway beer truck episode of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer.
Okay,
Maybe
we
I'll
like
win.
that. We like that. I like what that means. That's what I'm talking about. The runaway beer truck episode of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer, brought to you in part by our friends at Bet Online. NBA Finals. Let's go Celtics and Joe Mazzulla. Stanley Cup going on. Make sure you're going to Bet Online for all of your needs. Their website or your mobile app. Use the promo code BLEAV, BELIEVE, for 50% off with your first deposit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. And now, your host, Jed, the Signal Caller, Drenning.
I'm wondering where Schuyler configures the intro music and Owen screaming, "Let's go." And at some point, he's going to find a spot to drop that. That's his job. That's what he'll do. So,
All right, boys, let's go.
One side of the stadium filled with 60,000 plus is yelling, "Let's go," and the other side is yelling, "Mountaineer."
We want to tell you the stuff we're not good at, our weaknesses, so we're clear up front.
Owen's cracking up.
You just lost to your own game. You're outgunned and outmanned.
Who wants to be
A Mountaineer?
That's a great question.
Keep your tears in your eyes where they belong.
Stupid! Stupid!
here we go. We're going to have an entire episode. Every one of these questions is Owen Schmidt related.
I love it.
Oh, boy.
How
Whether
many
it's college,
beers
whether
did
it's
Owen
NFL.
Schmidt drink on the night of
How many coasters did he have hanging
August
on the wall of the old Mario's
12th,
fishbowl?
2006, at the Richwood Fishbowl location?
So, I'm not going to bore everybody with the rules. Waiting on your nut check question hanging out there somewhere.
Point.
Yeah.
So, point value will double in the second half, but in the first half, let's get rolling. Question number one, I'm going to go with some WVU questions in the first half. Then we'll get into some NFL and other stuff
Ooh.
in the second half. Okay? So let's get started for 1 point. And I incorporated ample true and false for Wes.
Great.
Because we know he loves them.
Was there even one for Phil last week?
I don't
Yeah,
think
there
so.
were a couple.
I didn't think there were.
Yeah.
I thought
You
it
don't
was
think
all
that was true or
multiple
false?
choice.
I don't think there was a true or false last week. I think I'm
Let's
with
go back
Sean
and
on
look.
this. Actually.
I'll tell you when we take a
check,
break. I'll
check
come back
the
and tell
record
you.
on that.
When we take a break,
Yeah, I
too,
have them all
you
here.
better come back with your original outfit for Final Jeopardy, by the way.
I had my
Yeah,
Gilligan
let
outfit
the-
on. You
let
made
the
fun of it.
record
So I was
show.
like, hey,
Let the record show that when we were doing our intensive pre-production meetings that we do for all these shows,
Yes.
Sean bullied Jed out of the outfit
First-
that he was
okay.
originally wearing.
Okay. As the obese kid in the room who was, in fact, bullied, let's pump the brakes here a little bit. He came out looking like Mr. Rogers. I told him he looked like a game show host, and he panicked and ran off camera and came back looking like a
Took
man.
my
with
jacket.
now.
Well,
Who's Newman now?
it was my Gilligan outfit, man. Okay. Anyway, without Antonic's hat.
He looked like
All I
he
needed
looked
was
like
Antonic's
Steve.
hat,
He
not
looked
the
like
Gilligan.
Steve from Blue's Clues had grown
Yes.
up to host a game show.
Now you guys are wanting me to put it back on. I mean,
Yes.
I'm getting ready. Maybe during the break I'll put it back on.
Only if you got the hat, Jed.
Second half, maybe for the second half.
Only if I got the hat.
second half.
I'll have to have, second half. Okay, so let's get started. Question number one, 1 point in value, true or false? Owen Schmidt's runaway beer truck moment, a 57-yard scoring jaunt against Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, did more than help secure a WVU victory and Owen's place in West Virginia folklore. The run also put Owen over 1,000 career yards at West Virginia. True or false? Text me your answers, including Owen. Usually he's on his phone and can't text. This is beautiful. We get all three of you texting the answers. Okay. Owen has to get his phone out now.
Yep.
Okay, I got Big Daddy's answer in.
This is bad. Oh wait, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. I got to text you. Oh no,
Yeah,
I'm not
true or
going on
false?
college. I'm not going on College Football Reference right now to look this up.
Wes, show the screen. Just show the screen so I can text it back. Okay. I was gonna say, just show me the number and I'll change my answer.
Owen's
It's got to be pretty
texting
close.
me. Okay, here we
Like
go.
I'm doing. I'm
Okay,
trying
I
to do.
got
I'm
theirs.
doing the math. I'm doing the math in my.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, my answer's in.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me hear the answer first, and then I'll give my logic on this one.
Okay, your logic. All right, you said false. Owen said true. Big Daddy said true. The correct answer, hear me out, is true. The run propelled Owen to 1,001 rushing yards in his career. Later in the same quarter, he managed.
Never heard this before.
Later in the same quarter, he managed 2 yards on his final carry to finish his debut career with 1,003 yards.
As much as that is, other than probably the Major Harris run against Penn State, one of the most celebrated iconic plays in WVU history. How have I never heard that also puts you over 1,000 yards for your career? That makes it even sweeter.
My twisted mind to wonder and have to go check.
I thought this was one of those.
We need to get John. How is John Antoniuk not written? Yes. How's our buddy not written about this?
That's a 500-word article. I thought he had already been over like 1,000, and this was Jed just being like, actually, put him at 1,500.
Yeah, same here.
Like, okay.
No, but my logic was, if this was true, I would have heard about this before.
Yes.
Have we not talked about this?
Good point. Fair point.
Impressive, Jed. Impressive. That's how is that I mean, it's true or false. I get it, but that should have been like. I was
thinking about this today, but coming in, I'm like, at some point, Jed's got to run it. Like, there's only so much trivia you can do for like our generation, and he's not going to go asking stuff about the 1960s.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Like,
cool. The next question is going to be about the 1922 undefeated Mountaineers.
Who was our guy?
Who had to take a train to San Diego to play Gonzaga in the bowl game?
Yep. And the
how many miles was the train ride from Clarksburg to San Diego?
Now, in fairness, if I ask a question like that, it's multiple choice or it's true and false.
It's true.
Right? Now, that's why I made that one true and false, because it was kind of slippery. So I said, I'll give him a 50-50 because it's a one-point question.
We're starting off with
because the questions are...
The first questions in these rounds are, West Virginia's colors are... red and pink, green and purple, or old, gold, and blue. And this is what we start out with?
Okay. So that sets the tone.
Great.
You ready?
Great.
You ready? Okay. Well,
thanks, Adam. Thanks, Adam. Right. I hope you're hitting dingers right now, Adam.
Listen, Sean, when this episode drops, you got to reach out to Crowley and be like, thanks,
100%. 100%.
Hey, Wes, what's Big Daddy going to sound like if he falls behind? Listen to him right now when he's winning.
Like, gosh, dude. Set the table early, boys. Set the table early.
1-1-0 our score so far through one question, gentlemen. Moving on to question number 2. Another Wesley Valent Euler special, true or false? In his first game as a Mountaineer, a 15-7 win at Syracuse in 2005, Owen Schmitt ran the ball 3 times for 11 yards. True or false? Please text me your answer.
The good thing Owen is not like Sean McVay with the recall on this stuff.
Yeah.
We would be screwed.
Yes.
I ran Widowmaker left 3 times, so I actually ran it 4.
And it was actually number 43 from Syracuse, Lawn Mariner who tackled me on the play.
We're waiting on Owen's answer.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, here we go. All right. So Owen says true, Wes says true, Big Daddy says false. I said true or false. Owen had 3 carries for 11 yards in his first game against Syracuse. Hear me out, gentlemen. The answer is false. Owen had 0 carries in that victory over Syracuse, but he did have 2 catches.
Oh, okay. See, my initial thought was Syracuse game, one of the ugliest games I've ever seen in my life. Bednarik's your quarterback. Pat White didn't exist yet. Steve Slayton's 5th string at that point didn't exist yet. So I didn't even know if Owen played in the damn game.
Yeah.
It's good
logic. Well, he got a penalty.
I'll tell you what I do remember from that game. What I do remember is Coach Rod absolutely tearing me a new one as I literally, and I think this was the first time I was on the field. I ended up tackling a guy out of bounds on a special teams play for a 15-yard personal foul penalty, and got one of these. You know, like one of the face mask deal, dude.
Oh, it wasn't one of these.
Yeah, it was like, wow.
Oh, and I love that you can't remember like if you were over 1,000 yards or not. But every time Rich Rod chewed you a new one, which is 6 times a game, every game of your entire career.
It's called PTSD, Sean.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You remember every word of that. No doubt about that. I can attest to that. So
3 to 1 to 0.
Yes. Now, remember, that was true or false. Owen 3 carries for 11 yards at Syracuse, his first game. False. That did not happen. He had 0 carries, which leading into question number 3 for 3 points. True or false?
Oh, God.
That 2005 trip to Syracuse proved to be the only game in Owen Schmidt's career debut in which Owen didn't run the football a single time.
Oh, Christ.
You got a 50-50 chance.
Thank God we don't lose points.
Look at Owen. He's deep thought. He's thinking back, battling the CTE. Look at him.
I'm trying, dude. It's blocked. It's
and you
blocked,
can't do patterns.
dude.
You can't do like, well, the first one was true, so this one's got to be true too. Like,
yeah, I know. No. Hey, that's my test thing.
No, yeah, you can't do any of that.
So we've had a true, we've had a false.
Try and game the game. No, don't game the game. That's not going to happen. Wes, we got your answer, right?
Jed spent 4 hours last night instead of sleeping, making sure there was no predictable pattern to these questions.
Yeah. Well, these questions have existed for months. Trust me. I was busy with something else last night. Okay, so Wes, got your answer. All right. And this is a 3-point question, gentlemen. Big Daddy, we got your answer. Okay. And Owen, what say you? Did you text me?
What was the question again?
Okay, against Syracuse, you didn't have a carry. True or false? The Syracuse game was the only game in your career that you didn't have a single carry. True or false?
Ah, golly, dude. I'm saying I said it. I sent it to you. Did I not?
No, I don't have it yet.
While Owen gets his answer in, a big thank you to our friends at Toothman Ford. Big shout out to JR and everybody at Team Toothman, because we all know cars cost less in Grafton.
All right, gentlemen. Owen said true. Big Daddy said false. Wes said true. The correct answer, quite simply, that's true. Syracuse was the only game in his career. The first game was his only game without a single carry. 0 carries. He ran the ball at least once, and every other game he played as a Mountaineer.
Good for you, Owen.
Yeah, let's go, baby. We're right back in it.
So look at this. It's 4-3-3. Owen's in the lead in the Owen Schmidt episode. Owen surprisingly jumps into the lead in the Owen Schmidt episode.
Surprisingly.
Yeah. So down the stretch that they come to the final question of the first half. Now, I asked a similar question a number of episodes back about Pat. So I thought it was a good theme to continue with Owen. Owen played 38 career games at West Virginia. This is multiple choice, gentlemen. 3 answers on the board. How many times in those 38 games did West Virginia outrush the opponent? 34, 35, or 36? ABC. 34 times, total? 35 times,
38 total.
38 total games. How many times did West Virginia in Owen's 38 games outrush the opponent? Was it A, 34, B, 35, or C, 36? Again, we asked something similar about Pat a handful of episodes back.
I've seen this fish before. That doesn't mean I'm getting the answer right, though.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So we got Big Daddy.
Would never repeat.
Big Daddy, we got you. Wes, we got you. Owen, we got you. Okay, Owen says 35. Wes says 36. Big Daddy says 34. We got them all covered.
Oh, baby, here we go.
The correct answer. The correct answer, and this is pretty remarkable. 36 out of 38 games we outrushed the opponent. Man. Owen, hats off to you for paving the way for that.
That is impressive.
That's very impressive.
That's not impressive.
Put that on your resume, bro. Come on.
I expect you to be bragging about that at work tomorrow.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So that takes us to the half, gentlemen. Okay, now let me point out the only 2 games in the 38 games in which Owen didn't were the game we shall not mention and the 2005 loss to Virginia Tech. That was it.
Ooh.
The other 36 games, we outrushed the opponent. That's crazy.
That is insane.
That's it.
So that takes us to the half, Wes, with the score.
Yep, as we throw at the
halftime. Jumped in the lead.
Yes. Hey, Euler 7, Big O 4, Big Daddy 3. It's tight. Listen, championships aren't won in the first half. All right, everybody knows that. It's tight here. Sean, I meant to ask you this before we started. So, real quick, if you could go see any musical act this weekend is playing in your backyard, who would you choose? Band, artist, dead or alive?
Dead? Oh, Petty. Tom Petty, every day, all day.
Ladies and gentlemen, your halftime show is Tom Petty
and the Heartbreakers. Wildflowers album, beginning to end. Petty, take it away.
You belong among the wildflowers.
In the second half.
You belong somewhere close to me. We'll be back after this message from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers for the exciting second half of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. You are in the gun.
ITG will be right back.
Ron, the quarterback, is ready. Here comes the try for 2. He has the snap. He drops. He looks. Pressure collapses. He's running, and he will be stopped short. They've tackled him. The ball game is over. The West Virginia University Mountaineers have rallied to defeat the Louisville Cardinals in one of the greatest games in West Virginia football history.
Nobody supports the blue and gold Mountaineers like Toothman Ford. With over 20 NIL deals and counting, Toothman Ford continues to rally behind our student athletes. And it's time we rally and support the dealer that supports the Mountaineers. Not only does Toothman Ford offer the best prices in the state on pre-owned, their never over MSRP campaign on new Fords guaranteed to save you thousands. Drive with pride all season long, knowing you're supporting the dealer that fuels our Mountaineers. Toothman Ford, where cars cost less, in Grafton and at toothmanford.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, back for the second half here of an exciting contest of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. Now for your host one more time, the signal caller, Jet Renning.
Gentlemen, once again, we have a tight contest as we head into the second half. And as we mentioned each episode, this game by its very design tries to keep things tight. And despite our best efforts to do so, we had a one-sided blowout last week with Phil Brady. Let's avoid that. Let's take this thing to the wire, guys. As we wrap up the second half here, let's start the second half, wrap up this episode of the Runaway Beer Truck special episode of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. As I said, in the first half, we talked about some obscure Mountaineer facts with Owen. Let's get into some NFL questions with Owen here in the second half. So, starting with the point value doubling to 2 points, question number 1. Owen played in 74 NFL games, but had only one playoff appearance. That came as a member of the Eagles in January of 2011. Philadelphia lost in the wild card round by a score of 21-16 to which NFC opponent? 3 answers on the board. A, Packers. B, Bears. C, Falcons.
Tell me the year again.
2011. It was a 2010 season. Playoffs 2011 January. Worth 2 points to start the second half. Was it A, Packers, B, the Bears, C, the Falcons? 2 points. Okay, let me see. Okay, Owen, what say you?
No, I get mine.
Me. I didn't get it yet.
Does everybody else have their answer?
Yeah.
It's the Packers, dog.
Yep.
Look at this. Now,
you know why?
Big Daddy,
because the Packers won the Super Bowl that year. That was an easy one against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And the number 6 seeded Packers went on to beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl that year, all the way from the 6th seed. Big Daddy, that's the closest we come tonight with a question specifically designed for you.
That was the Big Daddy.
If I'm correct, I believe they beat the Eagles in the first round, and it was Falcons in the second round, and they smoked out Matty Ice. I think that was that same.
That sounds right. Because that was when everyone was like, everyone was way out on Matt Ryan, and then a couple years later, the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, finally broke through. Yeah.
And they were road dogs the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
Road dogs the whole way
I was
through
going
as
to
the
say,
sixth seed. Very similar.
If any of us would have gotten that wrong, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
Very similar to what the Steelers did with Roethlisberger's first Super Bowl as the sixth seed.
Was that Seattle?
Same type of run.
The Seattle one,
Seattle.
Detroit,
Same type of run that the Packers
I believe,
went on
right?
that year.
Tom Brady's Tampa Bay, right? Aren't those the only 3 teams that have ever done that in NFL history? If I'm correct, all road. Oh wait, no, the Chiefs just did. Or did the Chiefs have a first? Yeah. No, did they have a first round game against the Dolphins? They had a first round home game against the Dolphins.
Yeah,
didn't they?
Yeah.
Weren't the Patriots the sixth
Bills
seed
won that division?
when
So the Dolphins were on the road.
Back in the 80s when they got smoked by the Bears? They were at least a 5 seed.
I can't remember then.
Oh, anyway. So
yeah,
you guys,
there's only been a couple.
I
think it might be just those. It might just be the 05-06 Steelers, those Packers, and then the Tom Brady Tampa. That might be the only 3 teams in NFL history that have ever done it.
Well, Owen, you knew that right away. What do you remember about that game?
Man, we had a chance to win right at the end of the game. We threw one up to Riley Cooper and just didn't make the catch in the end zone. We were hot that year, dude.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I remember.
We were that Hansel's so hot right now. I mean, that's how Zoolander hot we were.
Right. Let's jump to question number 2 for 4 points with our score at 9-6-5. West still clinging to the lead. 4 points. Multiple choice, 3 answers will be on the board. Okay. Yes. The final touchdown of Owen Schmidt's NFL career, we talked about this before we started taping, was on a 5-yard route into the flat to seal a win over the Houston Texans. Multiple choice. Who threw this touchdown to Owen? A. Carson Palmer, B. Kevin Kolb, or C. Michael Vick? Text me your answers, Tim.
Same again. Carson.
Kevin Kolb,
Okay,
Michael
A.
Vick.
Carson Palmer, B. Kevin Kolb, C. Michael Vick.
Kevin
Wes,
Kolb.
I got your answer.
Now that's a name I haven't heard.
Kevin did.
Years.
For a very long time.
No, he was good. He had a couple really good seasons.
Here we go. Now this is worth 4 points. Okay, Big Daddy. All right.
Yeah, Kevin and Mike battled it out until he got that nice deal with Arizona.
Yep.
So we have our answers in. Big Daddy says Kevin Kolb. Wes says Kevin Kolb. The guy who caught the touchdown from the southpaw, Michael Vick, says Michael Vick, and he is correct. Now think about this, guys. Owen talked about what a special year that was. You know what I remember about that year at the Eagles, Owen? And you caught a pass in this game. That game where you guys went to Washington and won 59-28, I was going back through what Mike Vick did in that game. 333 yards, ran for 80, 88-yard touchdown to Deshaun Jackson on the first play of the game. It was 45-14 at halftime. He was scorching hot in the first half of that game. That might be the hottest I've seen a quarterback in 10 years in the NFL. And I forgot you were in that game, Owen, but you had a catch in that game. And that was only about a month before this game where you caught your final touchdown against the Texans. What's funny, you can find that on YouTube. Maybe we'll get Schuyler to pull it up. There's a couple different versions of it, but there's the actual production version of you catching the pass to seal it. And as Big Daddy was talking about before we came on the air, you catch the pass in the flat, you work your way up, and in you go. There's also a fan who posted his vantage point way up in the nosebleeds.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's kind of neat, actually, to go back and watch it, of you catching it way down there, this tiny dot on the field and the crowd going crazy. But that's on YouTube as well. So Pretty cool memories there. But what do you remember about that? Catching from the southpaw Michael Vick, the winning touchdown against the Texans.
Well, I'll say that. So the night before the game, I went out to dinner with Cushing and Emily, who was the rep for Under Armour at the time. And she was laughing because at the time I had this like old beat, like ragged out 1988 Ford Ranger. And like, obviously he was like dressed to, nice. And I was like, straight up country boy in it.
Cushing was dressed like a guy who lived in Southern California for a couple years, and
full neck, but with the tie somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But we went to eat, and then my dad was actually at that game, and dude, okay, Four Locos were still around, and I had bought a case. Well, they were done, but I had went to
the last
store
relics.
and bought like
it was before they pulled all
dude,
the
8 cases, dude. Legit, dude. I bought like 8 cases of them, dude, from the guy. And like we Four Locoed it up. And listen, we went down to Philly and we were partying our butts off. We went to the casino. I ended up winning like $3,500 at the roulette table. And it was like 6 a.m. driving through the streets of Philly. We're going ham. It's like we just won the Super Bowl. I caught 1 touchdown pass.
In the pantheon of Owen Schmidt stories, is there any greater apex than Schmitty buying 8 cases of Four Loco just to make sure it's still
after scoring a touchdown to beat the Houston Texans?
Yeah,
he's like Elaine Bennis with the sponges.
That's
what he's doing. It's going off the market. I gotta buy.
Hey, that's a great recipe they used to have.
Oh, it was A+. We used to play beer pong with it. 2 games. See you later.
Oh, never.
Yeah, you need to check out that fan video. Oh, and that's pretty cool. This guy way up in the nosebleeds. It's almost like, why are you even taping this? I can't even see the field, but you can recognize what's going on. It was pretty neat.
Jed, was that one worth 4?
That was worth 4.
Or 3.
Owen took the lead.
Yes.
10-9-5. Owen took the lead.
Sean is stalled out after a hot start, I tell you.
Going Crowley proud, baby.
Jed, before you continue, a thank you to our friends at Fortis and our guy Rick Lewis for roof performance and financial certainty guaranteed. Make sure you visit fortis.us.com.
All right, that means question number 3 is brought to you. Fortis is bringing you tonight's nut check question. Yes, proud sponsor of the nut check question.
Nut check. Nut check. Nut check.
So, gentlemen, will you text me your wagers? Owen, you have 10. Wes, you have 9. Big Daddy, you have 5. As we come down to question number 3. Okay.
Much like Owen would have said at the casino that night after beating the Texans, scared money don't make no money.
I learned my mistake last time, and I was at least leading last time. So this is where all or nothing. I saw zeros on the board with Philly last week, so I know we're okay.
Owen, text me what you're betting. All right.
Sean, it's not worth winning if you can't win big.
Yes,
you got to hit it hard together.
Hey, easy enough. Everybody is all in.
Worth winning if you can't win.
So this could be a separation question.
Win.
Take him out.
So everybody's all in, plus the question itself is worth 6 points. Here we go, gentlemen. Question number 3. Multiple choice, 3 answers will be on the board. We talked in the last question about the final touchdown of Owen's career. Owen's first NFL touchdown came as a member of the Seahawks in 2009, an effort that was spoiled by what quarterback who carved up the Seattle defense for 353 yards in a Seahawks loss? Who carved up the Seahawks in the game in which Owen scored his first touchdown to spoil it? Multiple choice, 3 answers. Was it A, Tom Brady, B, Peyton Manning, C, Tony Romo? A, Tom Brady, B, Peyton Manning, C, Tony Romo. You all gambled everything plus the 6 points on the line. Owen texted me his answer. It is in.
Dang it, that makes me think Owen knows it, which means
Owen knows.
We're in trouble. We're in
trouble. Owen has his NFL career locked the F in.
Yeah, he remembers this much better than his WVU.
Yeah.
We're sure he wasn't on the Four Locos at college, not in the pros.
Oh, he was.
Big Daddy, let me see. Big Daddy's answer is in. Wes, your answer is in. Okay. All right. Here we go. Owen. Okay, let's start from the top. Big Daddy says B, Peyton Manning. Wes says C, Tony Romo. Owen says B, Peyton Manning. The Colts won the game 34-17 at Lucas Oil Stadium, October 4th, 2009. Peyton Manning throws for 353 to carve up the Seahawks defense. Pre-Legion of Boom. Owen, what do you remember about that game?
Well, it was my first touchdown ever, so you could almost understand the amount of excitement I had, but we were absolutely getting shellacked. So it was one of those. I just caught it and literally just walked back to the sideline
and the ball to the ref.
There was no celebrating. It was, dude. It was a garbage touchdown at the end of the game, dude. Like the end of the third or something. Like we were getting smoked. Like I wanted to spike it and everything, but I'm like, huh?
What was it like to watch Peyton Manning out there doing Peyton Manning things? I mean, what was it? Just how frustrating was that as an opponent to watch Peyton Manning in typical Peyton Manning form? You couldn't get him off the field. He's slicing you and dicing you.
I mean, he absolutely it was complete control of the game. I've never seen somebody just be so on point with it.
Jed, I just want to know, did you throw Tony Romo in the end there because you knew I would take the bait because that was the only other NFC quarterback on there? It's just a numbers change, right? Like you play more in conference games than you do at a yeah. I was like the whole time I was waiting for a quarterback in his division. I was
that's
like,
what
all
I'm
right,
saying. I was going to say
like conference. In his conference.
When did you play?
Yeah,
what's the date of it? But then it was 3 non-cons. So like,
if I'd have thrown like a Jeff Garcia in there, I'd really been screwing with you.
Exactly. That would have been my answer. I would have texted Jeff Garcia back before you finished saying it.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Playing a numbers game at that point.
Well, that's a great question. That's a great question. I just kind of thought like, hey, you got the 2 brand names. I need somebody else in there that was of that era that's not quite brand, but borderline.
Yeah, that was good.
So, all right. That takes us, gentlemen, with Owen up 26-16-0. Down to the final question of regulation. The final question, of course, is worth 8 points. 26-16. Owen leads. Big Daddy. Wes with 0. But a lot of crazy things could happen. We have the 8-point question, then we have the speed round, and then, of course, the final question. All right, for 8 points, 3 answers will be on the board. Listen closely. A total of 6 penalties were enforced against Owen in his NFL career. How many of those 6 flags were personal fouls? Thank you, Pro Football Reference, by the way.
Jed, can I just tell you, I'm very proud of you that you didn't make this multiple choice. All right? Very, very proud of you.
It's multiple choice.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. 0, 1, or 2.
Well, good, because my answer that I texted you already was one of those. So.
Okay. Yeah. 0, 1, or 2. Okay.
Now,
so
what would have been the ruling there? Like, if I would have texted you 5 before you even gave the multiple choice, am I out? Am I screwed?
It's another chance.
Yeah. Do I? That's very nice of you, Sean.
I
wouldn't have given myself another choice.
Here to support the people.
Okay. All right. This is going to get interesting. Let's see. Big Daddy. Okay. Big Daddy. All right. And Wes and okay.
Before.
All right. Yes, go ahead.
I believe in you. Okay. This is my answer. I believe in you.
Okay. So here are the answers. The question was, let's end the last couple words of the question to clarify. How many of those 6 enforced against him were personal fouls? Keywords. Okay, the answers you guys submitted. Owen said 1. Big Daddy said 0. Wes said 0. The correct answer is 0.
Let's go.
Owen, you want your 6 penalties?
We had more faith. We had more faith in Owen than he did.
He was just playing the odds. Owen, you want to hear what they were?
A fat middle-aged man telling an NFL athlete, "Do you know how hard it is for a fullback to get a personal foul?"
We could find a way. He was also on kickoff.
But
Owen, here we go.
Things you have to do.
2008, your rookie year at Seattle. Opponent Green Bay, second quarter, last play. you had an illegal block above the waist, 8-yard penalty. 2009, opponent, Tampa. You had an illegal block above the waist, 10-yard penalty. 2009, opponent, you were still Seattle. Opponent, Tennessee. You had an offensive holding, 10-yard penalty. 3 more. When you were with the Eagles in 2010, you had 2. This is the only game where you had 2 penalties. You had one against the Giants, which was a false start. All right. And that was 5 yards. Now, Owen, here's where it gets interesting because you only had one more after this. You had one 2012 when you were with the Raiders against the Jags, offensive pass interference. I'm sure that was some sort of goal line pick, if I had to guess. But back to the Eagles, the second penalty in that game, and I almost mentioned this, but I didn't want to give anything away in the last episode where we talked about wedge busting. Okay. Owen was flagged 8 yards against the Giants for an illegal wedge. How about that? That's as close as you came to a personal foul. But to your credit, Owen, 0 personal fouls in your career, at least in the NFL.
Are those blind sides? Are those crackbacks? They have to be, right?
The illegal wedge?
No. Above the waist. It can't be a high-low unless they called you for above.
Or was it below the waist?
Do you remember anything about those calls against you, Owen? You had your first 2 calls of your career. You probably don't. You had how many plays? And these are 2 of them. Illegal block above the waist against the Packers. Illegal block above the waist against.
Wait, yeah.
Well, what probably happened was the tackle was probably engaged with. They were probably cut plays.
Okay.
Called them high-low, yeah.
And you were the high part of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's just. I'm pretty sure that's probably what they called it. That's
so. What about the illegal wedge, Joe?
Huh?
Was it you were trying to run a 2-man wedge and it folded too close to another 2-man wedge and it kind of bled over because that's what they look for when they police that. But
we were just too close.
Interesting.
Now, what about the offensive pass interference against the Jags? I was talking? I would assume it was some sort of pick play on the goal line, probably.
Yeah.
I think that's what that was.
Guess. Yeah, the odds are right.
Hey,
but
4 locos are kicking.
5 years, 6 penalties. I'll take it, man. That's not
bad,
too
man.
Bad.
Pretty good.
Hats off to you.
Not bad, not too bad.
That's
5
tough,
years,
dude.
6 penalties. So that takes our score. Big Daddy jumps in the lead. 24-0-18. Wes, correct me if I'm wrong. You have 8. 24-18-8 because it was 26.
Wait.
I thought I had 26.
Owen had 26. Yeah, Owen had 26.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You didn't lose any.
Owen has 26. Sean has 24. I have
We just came out of the nut check. You didn't lose anything. You're still 26.
Yeah.
That's why I say correct me. That's why I say correct.
That's why we got. Listen, we gotta have math checkers. All right.
Yes.
On this.
Owen continues to lead 26-24-8, and now we're about to, gentlemen, go into the speed round.
Brought to you by our friends at Johnston Equipment. Make sure you're checking out their new location on Route 33, just outside of Weston.
I'd say since you can text me, the reason we normally do this the way we do is Owen doesn't have a phone, but he can text me. So as soon as I ask this question, you guys text me the answer. There's 3 of them, so get ready to text. I'm going to give you a topic. There's 2 answers. Text me who you think it is. I'll tell you what, text me 1 or 2 if it's the first guy or the second guy. Let's do it. It's even faster. Let's do it that way. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Speed round. 3 questions. First question. Text me your answer. Who had more career catches at WVU? Owen or Trayvon Wesco? 1 or 2? Okay. Let me see. Wes. Okay. Okay. And okay. We got everybody. All right. Let's do the same thing with question number 2. Text me a 1 or text me a 2 as I clear my texts out. Okay. All right. Who had more career points at WVU? Owen or Wendell Smallwood? 1 or 2? We got that. Let me clear that out. And we got one final speed round question. All right. Who had more career rushing yards at WVU? Was it Owen or was it Sean Alston? 1 or 2?
That's Grim Reaper of the NCAA, Sean Alston.
Those were toughies.
Yeah, that's right. The Alston case. This is a different Alston case we're talking about here.
That's the NCAA's Grim Reaper to you.
All right, so let's go through them, gentlemen. First question. Who had more career catches at WVU? Wes, you said Owen. Owen, you and Big Daddy said Trayvon. The correct answer, Owen had 32, Trayvon had 28.
Ooh.
Wes, you get the 2 points.
2 points, yep.
2 points each. Second question. More career points at WVU. Owen or Wendell Smallwood? Wes, you and Owen said Wendell. Big Daddy, you said Owen. The correct answer, Owen had 90, Wendell had 72.
Wendell could not find the end zone. If you remember, Dana always used to make fun of him.
I'm terrible at this game.
Point to the end zone and say, that's
you and Sean are tied. Oh, baby.
Ooh.
Okay.
I blew this last one hard.
This makes it a tiebreaker, okay? More career rushing yards at WVU. Okay, was it Owen or was it Sean Alston?
Owen had 1,000.
Okay. Wes said Owen. Owen said Sean Alston. And Big Daddy said Owen.
Here we go. Separation.
Owen, as we said earlier, ended his career with 1,003 yards. Final carry being the 2-yard run against Oklahoma. Sean Alston ended his career with 1,068 yards. Owen, 2 points to you.
Damn.
2 points to you.
Ooh,
so Owen takes a 28-26 lead. Wes, you have 10.
Yep.
Now remember, as we go into the final question, which I'll set up here in a second, you got to bet at least half. You've got to bet at least half of your total points. And I will give you a
spoiler
topic.
alert, I'm all in.
No.
Okay. Text me your totals. Wes, I got yours. Okay. So it is 28, 26 to 10. Okay. Wow, look at this. Okay, so, gentlemen, the question will be, here's your topic.
30 second timeout. 30-second timeout.
Well, we're going to take one after I do this.
Okay.
Yeah, because Wes is going to take us to a break.
You better change, Jed. That was my...
Listen, I didn't think you ever wanted me to change. You like me the way I am. The question, here's the topic. UWRF. Wes, take us to break.
For those not familiar, that means University of Wisconsin.
Rapid.
What was it again? I'm drawing a blank.
Rapid Falls?
River Falls.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the final question and the exciting conclusion of this edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer? You are in the gun. Nearly 20 years, Fortis has been the nation's leader in providing guaranteed roof performance programs for commercial buildings. Fortis offers roof performance solutions that feature extensive initial and ongoing reconditioning for commercial buildings as an alternative to traditional replacement, with long-term performance guarantees that are backed by global leader Lloyd's of London. Fortis offers a comprehensive range of roof performance management programs that provide financial security, extend the life of our customers' roofs, and make a significant impact on ROI. Fortis is currently improving performance and increasing ROI for customers at more than 4,800 locations, with more than 140 million square feet protected, including many Fortune 500 companies that have turned to Fortis to save money, gain financial certainty, and extend the life of their existing roofs. Fortis has helped customers save more than $520 million in capital roof replacement costs for an average ROI of over 250%. To learn more, visit fortis.us.com. Fortis, roof performance and financial certainty guaranteed.
If you work the land, you just got to be a jack of all trades type. There's just too much to do. So if you got to be a welder or a farmer or a ditch digger, that's just who you are that day. Then tomorrow, you can be somebody else.
Get your Coyote at the new location of Johnston Equipment between Weston and Buchanan.
Would you be my neighbor? It's a
Ladies and
beautiful day in the
gentlemen,
neighborhood.
welcome back for the final question. The signal caller, Jed, Mr. Rogers Drenning.
I've been called worse than Fred Rogers. I promise you that. I've been called worse.
You thought we were bullying earlier, and that's fine. To each his own. I could not support this more. I could not support this look. I am pro Mr. Rogers all day, every day. I'm all in.
Here to please.
Jed, you look like somebody I would take advice from. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
Yeah, he's the new Jake, dude.
Maybe.
He sounds hideous.
28-26-10. Owen leads. Our topic, UWRF. Now, no multiple choice, no true and false. Gentlemen, I just need an answer. I need you to text me your answer. And the secret is hidden in the words. You have to listen very closely to the numbers because it'll help you out to answer it. Owen Schmidt's college career began in 2003, not that number, at Division III Wisconsin River Falls of the WIAC, the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. I was in the WIAC, Owen. There, he ran for 1,063 yards as a freshman feature back for the Falcons. In all, UWRF played 9 games that season, none of which resulted in a tie. What was their final record that freshman year when Owen earned WIAC All-Conference honors? What was their final record? 9 games, no ties. Text me your answer, please.
Shot in the dark.
It either has to be a really good record or it has to be a terrible record. Like they won 8 or 9 games or they lost 8 or 9 games. Ain't gonna be no 5 and 4.
No tweeners.
Owen, what do you say?
He's smiling like he knows the answer.
It might be that or it's one less.
Okay. Let me give you your answers. Gentlemen, you answered. Wes, you said 8-1. Big Daddy, you said 8-1.
Yeah.
Owen, you said 4-5. The correct answer is 2-7.
Yeah, I knew it, dude.
We have a 3-way tie at 0.
You averaged 117 yards a game, and they went 2-7.
Yeah, we were.
That's all they had.
Yeah,
they ran for 516 yards one game.
Again,
Owen, you had it.
Owen, if you've learned anything from this game, it's that you have Wes and I's undying support.
Yeah, it's exactly right. No personal fouls, won every
8-1,
game.
We're running the WIAC. It goes through us.
That's exactly right. We're out rushing everybody.
Okay, we have a tiebreaker.
Okay, let's go.
Zero to zero. This is history, gentlemen.
There we go.
You just got to do more of those rapid fire questions until only one of us gets one. Like Jed, this is the point. This is like the penalty shootout. Like we ain't looking for fair. This shouldn't be fair anymore. We just need a winner. Nope. None of us deserve the win, so let's just crown somebody.
All right. I'm going to make this a speed round question.
We all deserve to win because who's looking? We act in 2003, 2-7. Come on. I'm not even supposed to be here. This is Clerks 1994. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
I like how you put.
No wonder you were trying to get the heck out of there, Owen. You know? Okay. So let's turn this into a speed round question. But there's 3 answers. Text me your answer.
1, 2, or 3.
How fast can we do this?
Yep.
1, 2, or 3. It's A, B, or C.
Till we get a winner.
It's A, B, or C. Okay, you ready? How many kickoffs did Owen Schmidt return during his career at WVU? 1, 2, or 3? Okay, gentlemen. Wes says 1. Big Daddy says 2. Owen says 1.
Great.
The correct answer. Big Daddy, you win. It's 2. Owen returned 2 kickoffs for 34 combined yards in his WVU career, a 34-17 loss to Virginia Tech and Morgantown in 2005. Owen fielded Jared DeVelli's kickoff at the WVU 21 and returned it to 41. His other return was 14 yards in a 2006 win over Maryland. Those were his 2 kickoff returns. Big Daddy, you are the 2-0 winner.
It's so dumb.
Incredible. Cue the Queen music.
And the word,
Cue the Queen music.
In the words of Shorzy, so dumb.
So dumb.
So dumb. Unreal.
I would listen.
Man,
I would say
what to me, man.
What you said, they either won 8 or 9 or lost 8 or 9.
That's that.
You were right on it. You were right there.
My God.
Do I know my host or do I know my host? I mean, I tell you what. Another terrific.
What a hollow victory.
Another terrific. Listen, don't apologize for winning. Okay, there's no such thing as a hollow victory. All right, you don't apologize for winning.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thanks,
your
Adam.
champion.
Thanks, Adam.
With the fireworks in the background.
I know how to set Zoom off, baby. Let's go.
John, Big Daddy, man, look at him. He's celebrating.
Hey, one of those points is for you and one's for Adam Crowley.
Better believe it. So now we have to have a tiebreaker, but it's fine.
Well, this was a lot of fun. Thanks to our buddy Sean Mariner for being here with us and taking some time to do this for the incumbent NFL player here on the show, the Owen Schmitt, beer trucking down the sideline, handsome, dancing with the stars master, and of course, the signal caller / game show host, Jed Drenning. I'm Wesley Euler. Hey, thanks to our guy Schuyler for throwing this all together for us as always as well, too. And the one thing we ask of you before we get out of here, as always, is to be an ear and tell an ear about your new favorite WVU football podcast. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. You've been in the gun.
ITG.
The fun doesn't have to stop here.
Be sure to hit subscribe and never miss an episode.
If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback,
be sure to follow us on X at In the Gun Podcast.
Join us again next time.
Until then,
tell an ear to tell an ear about your new favorite WVU football podcast.
This mission is over. It's over.